So, as everyone knows, at least 4 Conservative candidates have been removed by the Conservative Party, mostly for their social media, though with Lawrence saying we don't know exactly what it was that he did wrong, which is kind of surprising because we know with the other ones. But what's interesting is the Conservative candidates that are still allowed to run at this point. One of them being Andrew Lawton. Andrew Lawton actually ran for the Ontario Party back in the day and was removed by Doug Ford because of like insane stuff that he had posted on his feed. Now, at the time, he claimed that it was a mental illness problem, but apparently the mental illnesses have not. So these are just some of the tweets that people were able to collect on him. This one is from December 2014. I was called a misogynist twice today. I'm sure my girlfriend would be the first to say that isn't the case when I let her speak. Somebody replies, "Do you let her speak?" And then he writes back, it is Christmas time. So right there, we already know that he's a piece of garbage when it comes to. And there's a few more that somebody has collected. What he said about Christianity. Not when you assume that anyone who isn't Christian is wrong. It works for me. Theology is a tricky matter, isn't it? Is what he replied to. And then what he said about deaf people. Care to provide comment on how it doesn't matter how you refer to people who are deaf because it's not like they'll know. And then he writes back, not really. I don't think anyone impacted heard the segment. So he talked badly about deaf people, and he doesn't care because he figures they can't hear anyway. What he said about mental illness, by attacking me for my mental illness, you are attacking all those who suffer and have passed. I put myself out there to strike, debate. Things get passionate and heated, yes, but I would never mock somebody else's mental illness struggles. No, you just mock deaf people, Christianity, anyone that isn't Christian, and women. And here he becomes racist. He's posting things like Sharia Halloween costumes, sexy nurse, blah, 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 and then they're all niqabs. I hope I have that word right. Then let's see down here, covered in wires from reportable heart monitor, the Muslim gents nearby seem to think I'm one of them. You can go from there. Covered in wires. As an immigrant, a Muslim and a communist walk into a bar. Bartender says, "Hello, Mr. President," meaning Obama. Dancing with. Sorry, my timer's blocking it. Anyway, I'll let you guys read because I can't see for the stupid TikTok thingy on here. But so, and then this last one, I had to move it just because it's thingy in the way. Coming up soon is Canada's annual Faux Day of Remembrance. No, I wasn't talking about Kwanzaa when I said fake holiday. The National Day of Remembrance and Action on Violence Against Women. This is a day that remembers the brutal shooting of Polytechnique School in Quebec on December 6th, 1989, which was 20 years ago. Observance of this day raises the age-old question of what days we should observe and what should be kept in the history books. All of the victims were women, meaning this day of remembrance is a prime opportunity for feminazis to accuse anyone who doesn't take the day off work and hold a candle vigil of being anti. So obviously the gentleman in question, Andrew Lawton, is a misogynist, a racist. He has, does not care. He's ableist. He does not care about, people that have disabilities. He uses mental health as a fucking shield for all of his awful things that he says. And then he shits on a day that is extremely important in Canada. And no, nobody takes the day off work. Nobody's demanding that you hold a candlelight vigil and all this stuff, but at least you could fucking recognize it. And that's probably what happened, is that he didn't recognize it and is pissed off because people called him out. But this piece of garbage is still running. And those are years worth that the Conservatives would know about because the Ontario Conservatives knew about it and removed him. Doug Ford had more brains than friggin' Pierre Poilievre. But yeah, just got your receipts, baby. Is that good enough for you? Oh, and that doesn't even include all of the other horrible conservative candidates out there that are known MAGA supporters or have other friggin' issues out there. Like, I've seen the comments. All you have to do is go through my feed, and there are people that are talking about horrible candidates in their area. So the conservatives want to argue a fact that the liberals are awful and horrible because they screwed up with these two candidates, Paul Chang and Thomas Keeper. I keep saying Andrew. With Paul Chang, yeah, definitely. And the liberals, so they got a candidate, realized as they were vetting them, I guess, because they don't actually get confirmed until April 9th. So as they were vetting Thomas, okay, you have a domestic charge, you're gone. The thing about the ones that are being removed right now by the conservatives, some of them were candidates last election. So the information is not new. They knew what they were the last time they allowed them to be candidates. So what are the excuses now? Like, they know that they support MAGA or are posting conspiracy theories. I mean, Andrew Lawton should be removed. All of his information is not new. I mean, it goes back as far as friggin' 2014. Doug Ford was smart enough to remove him. Doug Ford was smart enough to remove Andrew Lawton, but he's still running. So you can point the fingers as much as you want. At least the liberals, quite a few of them, a lot of commentators actually, like me and others, are calling out Carney for his mistake. I am yet to see a conservative, so feel free to post a link into the comments below if I'm wrong, but I am yet to see a conservative call out their own party for the lack of vetting that they've done, for the lack of cleaning of their own house, until suddenly it mattered because, oops, Pierre opened his mouth and realized that he had dirt in his own house after he pointed out the overflowing garbage can that was Paul Chang.